Hello, we are implementing Telegram bot. We are implementing the Telegram bot using Firebase, Telegram bot API, and the Genius API. Let's look into the code. First, you have to install the necessary packages: Telegram bot package, Telegram bot API, request package, and the Firebase admin. To get the HTTP request package has to be installed. The code implements necessary modules and libraries to set up the Firebase application. Interact with the file store, the HTTP request, and create a Telegram bot. Here db is equal to get file store makes the reference of the file store database, allowing the interactions with the file store. And this service account provides the JSON file that is loaded with the some directory that is loaded in the same directory. It initializes the Firebase app using the service account creates. Means we are using our service account. Here are in our service accounts in our project. We have to import this file in our Firebase database. We have to create the collections. Here my collection name is personal data. We have to use that collection name in this code. First you have to create a new instance of Telegram bot, which is the provided API, which allowing the bot to communicate with the users. The polling is set to the true. Use the polling to check for the new messages from the Telegram bot. It has to be set to the true. And the bot has to be set an event listener for an incoming messages. And the chat ID is stored in message.chat.id, is stored in chat ID, and the message is stored in text. And the message which you are typing is to be splitted by using split method. And to store the data in the Firebase, we have to use function called insert, and to retrieve the data we are using get. In the insert, it assumes the user wants to insert data in the Firebase. It checks if the message contains at least 3 words. If so, it inserts data into the personal data collection in the file store with key and data value and the user's Telegram ID. A success message is sent back to the users if it is giving the right proper way. Otherwise, it gives a prompt. Please provide both key and data value for the insertion. And then if a user starts with entering with the word get, it means the user wants to retrieve data from the file store database. The code requires personal data collection like user ID key to find the documents where user ID matches is the Telegram ID. Where user ID matches with the Telegram ID and key matches with the second word of the message. If matching documents are found, their key and data value are sent back to the user by Telegram message. Means the bot sends back is the message. Else it gives the prompt of no data found for the given key. If the message does not start with insert or get, it assumes that the user wants to search for the news articles. The search query is taken in the entire message text. Means the user wants to searching with which article that stores in the search query, and they using the Genius API. This is a Genius which provides a website to provide it provides the API key. We have to use this in our code. The API key is to be used, and the data is to be converted into JSON format. The search query is taken from the code, then constructs the URL, Genius API. This is the URL. The query has to be passed here. Is the search query. Request library is used. Initially, we have installed request library. It is used to make an HTTP request to get request from the Genius API, and response containing new articles handled in the callback function. This is the callback function which handles the response. After receiving news article from JSON processed into the data. If articles are found in the response, means user enters an article. If it is found in the data, then then the course extracts the information from the first article and sends the title, publisher date, description, source name, image URL, all the details to the user. If no articles are found, then it gives prompt of no articles is found. Let's do implementation of the Telegram bot. This is our Telegram bot. First, you have to search for an news. First, you have to run this. Okay, let's type in news. For example, ISRO. It gives some details about the ISRO latest news. I have to insert this data. So I am giving prompt insert space name ISRO. I want to store the link of this news. It should give me the message if stored successfully. ISRO stored successfully means my data is stored. To get this data, you have to pass get and name. Here we can see the stored data is given. In our personal data collection, we can see the articles here. The documents are stored in NoSQL format. This is the link we have stored. And we can store any type of data. For example, when you type Narendra Modi, it gives the relevant information. You have to insert in it. You will have to insert this data. Modi. Store successfully.